I had to speak on this whole thing with Donald Trump, basically calling those who protest against police brutality and the things that have been going on here in this country sons of bitches. Now, I have a couple of bones to pick when it comes to this because, first of all, I saw old biscuit nigga snack searching ass Ray Lewis out there taking a knee with the Baltimore Ravens. Now, if you guys haven't followed this guy's track record, he was the same guy that was criticizing Colin Kaepernick for taking a knee. He was out there tap dancing for white folks so he could be in their good graces. But the minute that the NFL organization, the owners are attacked by Donald Trump, now all of a sudden he wants to take a stance. Now all of a sudden all these other cats, white, black, and whoever, want to unify together and take a stance for against the national anthem. And I find it to be funny because where was all this unity and all this togetherness when Colin Kaepernick was taking a knee and, pushing back against police brutality? There was a lot of outrage. A lot of people were criticizing Colin Kaepernick for his actions. Where were these guys at? You had a few guys here and there that, took a knee and was down with what he was doing. You had a lot of guys who supported what he was doing, but wouldn't take that knee because they didn't want, that to affect them. But deep down inside, behind closed doors, they agree with what Colin Kaepernick was doing. But it just, it makes me laugh, but I'm also not surprised at the fact that the minute the NFL organization, the owners get attacked by 45, now all of a sudden, everybody is in an uproar and everybody wants to take a stance. See, a lot of these guys in the NFL have to understand when they are being used by the powers that be. The NFL doesn't give a damn about those black men that are out there busting their ass through practice and on Sunday. They don't care about their children being gunned down. They don't care about white supremacy here in this country. They don't care about racism. All they care about is their bottom line. And when they feel like they're being attacked or they feel like their bottom line could be in jeopardy, then they promote those very same guys who were talking about the issues that were going on in their community. They promote them to go out and unify and take a stance for the defense of the NFL. But where is the defense for those guys' families and those guys who have people within the same communities that they come from that are being affected by police brutality? Where is the defense for those guys? But see, you got a lot of these guys in the NFL, they don't understand when, they're being manipulated and they're being used. And, yesterday, I checked out, first of all, it was a wild Sunday. I'm not with the whole boycott of NFL because I know a lot of you guys are doing it and that's cool. Kudos to you. I don't, give you guys a side eye or whatever. Hey, if you want to boycott the NFL because of Colin Kaepernick, go right ahead. Me personally, I don't feel like we should do that because I feel like if we're going to boycott the NFL, well, let's boycott everything. Let's boycott, the government tearing up our communities. Let's boycott the beauty supplies that you women go out there and buy all these expensive hairdos and shit from, but they don't invest back into community. Let's boycott Marvel and all you comic book geeks out there that like that type of stuff that just now realize that they have a black demographic. Let's boycott that. Let's boycott the video games. Let's boycott, these people appropriating our culture. We need to boycott everything. We're not just going to pick and choose when we want to boycott or when it's something that you don't really particularly like. I know a lot of you guys are not even really, football fans like that. You guys are occasional football fans. So it's easy to say, I'm a boycott. And I'm not saying that, you should boycott, along with what everybody else is doing. I feel like everybody should be their own man. But at the same time, let's not pick and choose. Let's not have selective outrage, And also, I don't, even though I respect Colin Kaepernick, I respect what the brother's doing, I don't shit on his name because he was the first one to come out there and actually take a knee for what was going on in the community. But at the same time, I don't forget him publicly coming out and saying he wasn't going to take a knee anymore the minute he became a free agent. because he wanted that check. He wanted to be on another team, and he knew his previous indulgement in pushing back against police brutality and things that were going on in this country. He knew that would affect him. So, I don't forget that. So, I have my own personal reason why I don't feel like me personally, I'm going to boycott. But like I said, you guys want to boycott, go right ahead. But it's all about, not being used and not being manipulated. But, I wasn't geeked up about the protest yesterday because I felt like it was a little bit too late. I thought a lot of guys that were participating in it were complete hypocrites. Especially that old tap dancing Negro Ray Lewis. And he ain't even taking it. He was out there on his knees. Go figure. But, these characters out here really, crack me up, man. You had Richard Sherman out there talking about, this guy's doing this and this guy's doing it. But wasn't you the same one 2 years ago that was talking about black on black crime? And basically dismissing police brutality, saying, oh, well, there's black on black crime. We need to focus on that. You had him out there. You need to be called out. You had Michael Vick came out talking about, oh, well, Colin Kaepernick needs to cut his hair. That's what he needs to do in order to be accepted in the NFL. You need to be called out. It's a lot of these jokers out here. I saw a joker this morning on First Take, talking about, oh, well, yeah, I was poor. It was a white guy. He said, oh, I was poor. Before I got in the NFL, I had $7 when I was drafted. It's not a white black thing. It's a poverty thing. No, there is a such thing as white supremacy. He basically was, just paraphrasing what he said. He basically was saying there's no white supremacy in this country. It's a economic thing solely. It's poor versus those who have money. And anybody with some knowledge, just basic knowledge, understands that we do have something called white supremacy in this country. His ass needs to be called out. So a lot of these brothers, man, they got to stop with the selective outrage. They got to stop being manipulated by the NFL owners because they want you to go out there and unify and take a knee when they're being insulted or they feel like their bottom line is being affected. They want you to go out and protest then. But when brothers want to go out there and take a stance for the injustice that was going on against our own people, all of a sudden, all this backlash happened. All of a sudden, it was, oh, you shouldn't be doing that. You're disrespecting the military. You're disrespecting the flag. It was this big outrage. But now, all of a sudden, because the owners are being attacked by Trump, they want everybody to unify. And if I was in that locker room, I would have said, no, I'm not doing it. I'm going out there, I'm going to stand, I'm going to put my hand over my heart, and I'm going to stand for the national anthem. Because if it was a problem when Colin Kaepernick did it, it's a problem now. We're not going to play this selective outrage bullshit out here. So a lot of these brothers out here, man, they got to wake up, understand what's going on. Us as the black community, we have to wake up and understand what's going on.